is live video podcasting the new talk show? So I want to see if anyone out there is like me. And if you're like me, you have been posting on social media for some time now. And the thing about posting on social media is that it can often appear to be really random. Like, oh my gosh, what will I do today? What will I do tomorrow? Should I go on LinkedIn? Should I go on Facebook? Should I go on Instagram? If I go on Instagram, will anybody see me? If I'm making video today and I'm going live, will anybody actually show up and appear for me while I'm live? All of these questions come up. And in the time that I have been spending working with people who are just like me, people who are content creators, people who have this super great talent, people who want to share their message and grow their business and use online marketing to do that. Online marketing to actually reach a bigger audience and to reach more people with their message. In my evolution of doing that work, I have come to a very specific and very evolved plan. And it includes, in fact, it all focuses around live video and turning your live video into an actual show. Now, one of my favorite motivational speakers is a woman named Rita Davenport. And when I've seen her a couple of times because I used to work for this movable conference and I was doing the live streaming for this 3-day event. And it went from city to city. And often, it wasn't always the same, but many of the same speakers would be at these different events. They would follow the conference around and they would speak in the various locations. Rita was one of these. She was one of the group of speakers who would show up. And when she ended her talk, she would say, God is watching, so put on a good show. And that line really resonates with me. And to me, it's like, okay, so you don't know who's watching, right? And you want to show up and give it your best, whatever it is that you're doing. And this equates so well to the world of video and video marketing. Like if you're going to go out and make a video, if you're going to post any kind of content on social media, you want to put on a good show. And to take it one step further, you literally want to turn your content into a show. And I've been, for the last several months, really studying the world of podcasting. And part of it is because I wanted to produce my own podcast. And so I did. And in my learning all about the world of podcasting, there are a lot of great lessons. And number one is that every single podcaster who puts out content week after week, they are treating that content as a show. Every podcast is, the Joe Rogan show or, whoever's show. All of these different podcasts are shows. And literally, when they bring on a guest, they say things like, welcome to the show. And, when you look at that, like, what does it actually mean to have a show? Well, the elements are that you're, first of all, consistent, that you pick a time and you pick a place and you pick a date and you show up at that time and place week after week at the same time. Just like if you were a regular TV series or a regular season on any kind of programming, whether it's television or radio. And so these podcasters, this is what they're doing. And they're doing it, for the most part, the ones who are successful, they're doing this really, really well. The other piece is that they're elevating the status of what they're producing so that they actually turn it into something. They turn it into something very special that has a format and has a structure and has segments. And they literally are taking their audience on a journey. And this is where what I really want to talk about today. So got a couple things going here, but first of all, let me show you one of my new show elements that I'm so excited about. Yahoo! Because, the live stream show, which if I point to the logo up here, the live stream show, this is all new. And I have finally turned my video podcasting, my video series, into an audio podcast. And that has just gone live just a couple of days ago. It's on iTunes. So, for example, if you, let me just take this down. If you go to thelivestreamshow.com, you can find it. And so let me give you a little bit of teaser of sort of what's going on. And hang on here. I'm just going to share my screen. This is the intro to the live stream show. Oh, let's see. I got to go here and then here. There we go. Recorded live in Boston, Massachusetts, this is the live stream show. In a world full of underexposed entrepreneurs, the live stream show is your gateway to a global community of live stream pioneers who dare to go live and create something special and unexpected, which could only happen because it was live. I'm your host, Brad Powell. Let's get on with the show. There we go. Right. So let's get this out of the way. There we go. So there's the teaser. And every time, this is when you're doing any kind of presentation. I mean, imagine from now on, now that I have that intro, that show intro, every time I go live, every time I do a video, I can literally push a button and my intro comes on, and now it has the look and the feel of a show. But not only that, I am telling a story. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm bringing you on the journey that I'm going on, and I want to take you with me. And this is probably one of the most important elements of putting on a show, of elevating your content into a show. So the question that I ask in the intro is, join me and find out what happens when everyday entrepreneurs and live stream pioneers, these are the people that I'm going to be interviewing and talking to on this show. What happens when they go live and they create something special and unexpected that could only happen because it was live? Doesn't that sound interesting? Like, this is the journey that I want to go on. I want to push the envelope. I want to explore the envelope of live streaming. And I want to find out who are the best people. Who are the people who are just regular, ordinary folks who are doing live streaming, but because they're experimenting and they're creative and they're doing something new, like this is a new medium that the rest of us could learn from. The rest of us can go, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And take that with us and go even further. So this is the journey that I'm taking you on. And there's a couple other examples that I'm going to share in just a minute. But before I get there, I want to encourage you to go and find the live stream show. So if you go to, no, that's not it. I got the wrong one there. If you go to the livestreamshow.com, what you will find is, let's see, I got to share my screen here. So what you'll find is a landing page that looks just like this. And so here is the home of the live stream show. And you can see right on the top of the page is the video that I just played for you. And then as you scroll down the page, you will find the season trailer, which will introduce you. I'm not going to play this, but you can click on this. It's only a couple minutes. And it basically gives you a variety of the voices who I've talked to, who are on this season. And then most importantly, right here, you'll see these buttons and you can subscribe. You can get this on your phone. And down here, so far I've got 2 episodes. There'll be a new episode dropping every Tuesday. So these 2 episodes are here. These are some really interesting people. This guy here, Nick Demos, he is a dancer. He is a film producer. He is also a producer of musicals. And one of his musicals a musical called Far and Away, won a Tony on Broadway. And now, like what he's doing now is he lives in San Francisco and he is a storytelling coach. He teaches you how to use storytelling in your marketing. And that is what he and I talked about on this particular episode. And Alex over here is an author of 2 books. And the books are all about how to be productive and get all the work done that you wanted to, or even get more work done than you could imagine, but actually spend less time. So asking the question and going on the journey of how do you work less and do more? And the cool thing is that he opens up with this premise that all of the greatest, most amazing geniuses that we can think of in the past, great artists like Van Gogh and artists like Rembrandt and all these people, Leonardo da Vinci, all of those folks, they never put in an 8-hour day. They never put in an 80-hour work week. They would tend to work what we would consider work for about 4 hours a day. And the rest of the time, they would do other pursuits, like they would go out into their garden, or they would go for a walk, or they would go and visit with friends, things like that. And this is the life that they led. And they were some of the most creative people that we have ever found. So we talk all about this. And he talks a lot about how you can put this whole thing in context of many companies are doing things like shortening the workday and shortening the work week, and they're thriving. And so if you want to learn more about how that's being done, tune into the episode. So the thing I want to point out is click on this little purple thing and you can subscribe on iTunes. And so I push this and you'll see it goes here. And now we're looking at Apple Podcasts and it's on Apple Podcasts and somebody gave it a 5-star review. So go there, find it, subscribe. If you want to listen on Apple Podcasts, you click on this and you open the podcast app. And it opens up here, and then you can click this little subscribe button right here, the blue subscribe button. And then you will get new episodes coming every single week for you, every single week. So there you go. My new podcast just dropped, and now it's live. And now, as I come back here, let me share my screen off, turn that off, and come back to me. Yay! All right, so here we are. And I want to explain a little bit more about how podcasting can work and can fit into your normal flow and your normal content marketing. And I'm just noticing that it's a little dark here, so let's see if I can lighten it up a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. It's a very interesting day because it started off today. I'm in Boston, and Boston has been cloudy, overcast all day. And then just in the last 10 minutes before I went live, it started to clear up and break up. And so now what's happening is that clouds are going by, and some of them are bright and some of them are not so bright. And if I had these curtains open, I would be totally blown out when it was really bright, and then the cloud would come in and I would be totally in the dark. So I've had to close my curtains, and so it's kind of darkish in here, and so I wanted to lighten it up just a little bit for you. This is the joys of trying to figure out your lighting. Think of that. So in the world of podcasting, in the interest of doing podcasting as part of your content marketing, here's the strategy. I'm going to break it down. So basically what you do is you plan to go live minimally 1 time per week. In fact, if that's all you did, that would be great. It's all you really need to do. So 1 time a week, you are hosting a live event. And this is the important part. It's live and people are joining you and you have a chance to interact with them. They can leave comments. And if you have questions about this, put them in the comments now and I will get to them. And so people are, coming and joining, and you are the host of this virtual event, this virtual gathering, this virtual party, however you want to frame it. And you can bring on a guest and the two of you can talk about something. And then you can interact with the audience. The audience can ask that person a question. And this is the nature of the content that you're producing. But then when you're done, when you're finished, you have all these things that are your advantage. First of all, when you're broadcasting live, you can be multicasting to many places. So right now I'm just going live on YouTube, but if I wanted to, I could go onto YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all at the same time. And so with one piece of content, now I'm reaching all of my people on all of the platforms where I participate in the same moment, all at the same time. And that's a really great strategy. But when you're finished, you can take that video and you can turn it into multiple pieces of content, which in fact can support your guest. So for instance, your guest comes on and somewhere in the middle of your conversation, they say something that's just really cool. It's like this amazing golden nugget. And see how the sun is coming out? I'm going to fix it again. There we go. So your guest says this amazing golden nugget. And you go take that little bit, like let's say it's a minute and a half of whatever they had to say. And you just take that little bit of video and you put your branding on it and you put captions on it. And then you repost just that clip to any of the social media places where you are. It could be a story. It could be an Instagram TV video. It could be a Facebook video. It could be a LinkedIn video. Any of those things will serve really well. And they accomplish a couple things. One is that they support the guest. It's like a big thank you to the guest. You can tag them. You can actually give them the video and so they can use it in their own content marketing, which supports them and you. And all of this is great branding and promotion for your show and for your work and for whatever it is that you're doing. And so if you do this properly, with one piece of content, you go live for 20 minutes or half an hour, just one time per week. And now you have all of the content posting that you need to do all over the place, ongoing into the future. And this includes taking the video and embedding it onto your website, putting it as a blog post, transcribing it so that you have this long written out blog post, and then sending to your email list that, hey, I made you guys a new video, come and watch it over here. So all of these things are possible. And all of these things that are things that you can do for your audience, and you can build this great network with the guests that you have. And all of this serves your business because you are now the host of a regular show. So whoever, admirer you have in terms of talk show hosts, whether it's somebody like, her name escapes me right now. What's her name? The 5-second rule lady. Mel Robbins. Oh my gosh. Mel Robbins has now got a show. Now, she used to be just doing Facebook Lives on a regular basis, which is great. Like she's got a couple TED Talks with millions and millions of views. And since then, she's been going live on Facebook and just being herself, showing up like in her kitchen and in her sweatpants after a run and talking straight to the camera and being really engaged with her folks. And now she's parlayed all of that into a regular actual television show. Great, awesome. So, she's become a talk show host celebrity in her field, and you can too. And I've got clients who I've worked with who have been able to establish themselves doing this. And one of the examples I wanted to share with you today is probably my newest favorite YouTube star. And it's these two guys who call what they're doing randomonium. And I'm going to just cue them up here. Give me just a second. And I'm going to play their video because I think, their video is like the intro that I did. This is the intro, and it's actually the intro to their whole YouTube channel, which I'm going to share with you. And you'll get the idea, you'll immediately get the idea of what they're up to and why you might want to tune in with them. They've just done a really, really great job with this. So we'll share the screen, and let me just hook up this video. Here we go.
For the last several years, we've worked for VAT19, creating all kinds of fun videos and building a really popular YouTube channel as employees of that company. Yeah, and now it's time to go our own way, chart our own course, and build our own brand from the ground up. We call it Randomonium.
This is the next chapter for two best friends turned creators whose wild ideas have produced some of the most watched commercials on the internet.
So join us as we take a huge leap. We're John and Danny.
And this is Randomonium.
Randomonium is the ongoing story of childhood best friends. We've known each other since 5th grade.
Yeah, it's sort of like a reality show about YouTubers who create fun commercials and share cool products.
And it's all about wild ideas.
Our YouTube channel is the home base for all of that.
Yeah, and we also launched a super fun podcast called Timely, where we talk about random topics from the past, present, and future in every episode.
Building a brand is a team effort that requires all hands on deck, and that's why we highly value our Patreon supporters.
In fact, this video isn't even public, so just by watching it, you're taking the first step in showing your support.
And by joining this community, you're helping us launch this ship, and we want to reward you for that.
As soon as you join, you'll have instant access to all kinds of exclusive content.
Oh yeah, like behind the scenes videos, live streams, discount codes on products, and a lot more.
From now on, you'll be the first to see the wild ideas we're cooking up.
Plus, you can hang out with our fun online community, share your own ideas, or just chat.
So choose the right reward for you and become a patron.
All right, so there you go. You're getting a couple examples there of not only are they creating a really cool intro to their work, but right at the end there, they're launching into a whole monetization strategy. So, which is again pointing to another reason why turning your content and elevating it into a show, into a video podcast series, now you can give people a reason to tune in more regularly and actually see what you're doing as higher value so that they're willing to be a Patreon and start supporting you and be a monthly subscriber to content that you're producing. So that whole thing that they're choosing to do, this is, they're framing it like I'm running this experiment. We're doing new creative stuff and we're creating what they term as a reality show. And you're going to be able to see us go through our creative process, try things out, and find out whether we succeed or fail at the things that we're trying to do. So this whole strategy, these two guys are a couple of the most successful video creators on the planet. In terms of their previous work for their agency was very successful. They produced many, many super viral videos, many videos for brands that were able to capture large eyeballs and large audience attention and large numbers of views. And now they're taking some of that skill and they're bringing it to their very own channel, and we'll see what happens. Already, let me just look it up here. Their channel, if I go back here and see, let's see. Their channel has right now 287,000 subscribers. And I think it's only about 6 or 7 months old. So that's really impressive. That's super impressive for such a young YouTube channel. And again, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a window into what is possible when you do something like turn your show into an actual, or turn your content marketing into a podcast and into an actual show. And those are the things that I wanted